has a friendly, knowledgeable staff to get you in, out, and on with your day. Little Shavers Woodshop, 3301 Salisbury Highway in Statesville. Little Shavers Woodshop, LILshavers.com.
The following is a paid program and does not necessarily reflect the views of WSIC.
Good day, everyone. This is Cornelius, Mayor Woody Washam, and it is about town. I can't wait for you to hear this program today. We have a special guest all about lake safety. You know, we're coming upon one of the busiest seasons on our lake that there is, and we've got to figure out a way to make our lake safer. And one of the folks that are leading the charge there's a team of folks that's leading this charge, but one of the folks that is at the helm of making sure our lake is safe is Officer George Brinzey. And he's going to be our key guest today, and he has got some guests coming with him too that I'm going to give him the opportunity to introduce on his own. So, George Brinzey, thank you for being here today. We appreciate all you do for the town of Cornelius as one of our officers. And let's talk about lake safety, sir.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you for having me. Trusting me with your show. We're going to do the best we can to make you proud of us here. I've been on About Town a couple times now and have thoroughly enjoyed the opportunity. And now driving the ship, it's a little bit concerning, but I think we're going to get through it. We've got some really awesome people with me here this morning. We're going to talk about lake safety. We're going to talk about what we're doing right now, actually on the lake with our joint spring training with all the local emergency responders on Lake Norman from all 4 counties. It's pretty amazing what level of service this lake has to its residents. We've got Assistant Chief E.J. McCormick. We've got 2 really amazing guys that have grabbed the bull by the horns when it comes to police community partnerships. One being Michael Hauser, a local resident, an official police volunteer, and we've got Dennis Kazmierczak, who is a local resident that lives off of Ramsey Creek. So he certainly has seen our amazing lake and what it offers. Some good, some bad, but mostly good, right?
All good.
Yes, yeah. So EJ, let's talk about what we got going on in the lake right now. Like right now.
Right now, as we speak, got a pretty cool training event going on. We've been doing it now, probably
2015.
Yeah, quite a few years. And
10 years. This is our 10-year anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
Yeah, thank you.
Feels like 20.
I'll buy you pizza.
Yeah, thanks. But no,
like
it's
great
great
right now with you two.
It's great. It's great to put names and faces together. I think before the season really kicks off and getting everybody together so that we're on the same page before the calls really start coming in. But more so just to network and see what's changed over the winter. We're doing drills like we're looking at GPS marks. We're looking at people in the water. How are you going to get them on your boat if they're injured, leg injuries, traumatic injuries, things like that. We're doing side imaging stations. We're looking at new technology with underwater robots. We're looking at, there's a drone station out there. So land, air, and sea.
Yeah. And what's amazing is how the technology that we had when we started, it was pretty much a paper chart, a grease pencil, and somebody on a radio. And now there's so much technology wrapped up in our responses and our capabilities. It's all perishable.
I remember we had a drowning, and there's still a picture in the fire station of one of the old Dodge Durangos and a big paper map that we probably got at West Marine, and guys looking at it and trying to make head or tail out of it. Now you look today, there's an enclosed trailer with 3 TV screens, 2 computers, and it's just amazing how far we've come and what we can really do, and just to make the operation more efficient. It's not just gee whiz stuff. It really keeps responders in their communities if they don't need to be out there, or if we're realizing, hey, this is a little bit out of our scope, we can bring more people in.
and it's top notch service that we're building out here. I mean, you look at what, like I said, what we started with and where we are today. I don't know if you could find a body of water with so many different organizations and agencies that have such a close relationship. It's unheard of.
I'm over the moon proud of what we've accomplished on
Yeah.
on Lake Norman. I think it really is a model for what places should look for, and what we've been able to do. Just the networking piece. When people show up from a couple counties over, it's seen you a couple weeks ago at the training, and it's great. They fall right into the system, and they know exactly what to do, and that's how it really ought to be.
Absolutely, absolutely. And as residents, Mike and Dennis, I mean, how does that make you feel?
I mean, for me, it makes me feel great to see, all the advancements that you guys have put in place to really help make the lake a safer place. And, it's important because not only are the advancements are on your end, but it's also on the residents' end and the people that are using the lake for recreational use. I never thought I'd see days with pontoons having twin 300s on the back of them, or people wakeboarding on a boatless sea bob, right? So as technology increases, both for first responders like yourself, it also is for recreational use, which puts us more at risk, right? And I think that we always have to keep our head on a swivel as community members, but we just think of it as, let's hop on this next, latest and greatest vehicle or vessel and go have fun. And we don't realize when we need help until it's too late. Right. And I'm glad to see you guys advancing, not just your training, but also the technology you're using to help keep us safe day in and day out.
Yeah, we Tuesday we started off with our skills stations, which is mostly law enforcement. I think you had one fireboat there.
That's right.
And it was really interesting how we did it this year. We had 8 different stations. We had 9 boats, and every 50 minutes we rotated from station to station. We've got so many different levels of skill on the water now. I mean, all of our lake units have grown. Every single county has more people on it than they ever have before. So originally this training was going to start out with 18 guys. And 2 weeks before the training, we were up to 34. Tuesday morning, we had over 50 people show up to the training. And I mean, just from the law enforcement side, and that doesn't even account for what all the joint exercises, the scenario-based training. And our stations consisted of knot tying, person recovery, where we had a live person in the water, vessel handling, all different aspects of what we do. We try to combine it into that rotation. So it worked really well, and boy, it was a lot drinking through a fire hose.
Yeah. No,
kind of like you are. EJ's on the hot seat this morning. So, we're about to go on break, and we're going to come back and talk to Dennis about a really awesome event that's going to happen this coming Sunday. What is it, Dennis?
Fun Day Sunday, Rock the Boat.
Yes, to benefit the Joshua Murray Boating Safety and Education Center.
That's the event you dance at?
Yeah, I don't know. You don't want me to do that.
Karaoke?
We'll hear all about
Shut
it
that
in
down.
a couple minutes here.
Check for tomatoes at the door, right?
We'll be back with more of About Town, hosted by Cornelius Mayor Woody Washam, straight ahead on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Well, as we continue to work our way toward the weekend, the warmth will continue to build as well. The extra clouds still hanging around for a good chunk of your Thursday, but a bit more sunshine is back this afternoon. Temperatures warming up to finish things off around 80. We'll only fall back into the mid and upper 60s overnight. And are you ready for a little taste of early summer warmth? We're going to warm up close to 90 for your Friday. We could even be in the low 90s around the lake Saturday afternoon. That's your forecast. The WSIC Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
The WSIC app is available now wherever you get your apps, featuring local deals from great local businesses like Nina's Boutique.
Here's your WSIC community calendar. Friday night is the season opener for the Live Under the Oaks outdoor concert series at Birkdale Village in Huntersville. Grab your friends, family, and your lawn chairs as weekly music returns to the plaza each Friday through October. Red Rocks will be on site for beverages, and the Birkdale restaurants will be open for your Friday night dinner. The Walter Family Band performance, powered by Waves Entertainment, kicks off at 6 p.m. Friday at Birkdale Village in Huntersville with the season premiere of Live Under the Oaks. The 500 Club in Statesville presents a weekend full of fun. On Friday, Members Happy Hour begins at 5 p.m. Also enjoy the day with Glow Golf Loop. Saturday night at midnight, enjoy a good old-fashioned drive-in movie. Call 704-872-9990 or visit the 500 Club online for more details and enjoy your weekend at the 500 Club in Statesville. The Auto Fair presented by Camping World is back at Charlotte Motor Speedway Thursday through Saturday. The show brings together the car community in a celebration of their shared passion for all things automotive. Don't miss the Heritage Invitational, where iconic cars from all eras are gathered for up-close viewing. Visit charlottemotorspeedway.com for Auto Fair tickets and more information. On Saturday, come celebrate the 5th year anniversary at Lost Worlds Brewing in Cornelius. A DJ and coffee will kick off the day at 9 a.m. while live music begins at 1 p.m. Enjoy drink specials, multiple food trucks, and free admission. We'll see you Saturday at Lost Worlds Brewing in Cornelius for their 5th year anniversary party. To keep up with all the events happening around the community and much more, including amazing local deals, download the WSIC News app today.
Merlefest 2025, presented by Window World, returns April 24th through the 27th in Wilkesboro, North Carolina. Hear the Avett Brothers, Bonnie Raitt, The Dead South, Watch House, Wyatt Floors, I'm With Her, Leftover Salmon, The Warren Treaty, The Steel Drivers, and many more. For tickets, visit merlefest.org.
Now, more About Town with Cornelius Mayor Woody Washam on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Okay, welcome back to the About Town with Mayor Woody Washam. Filling in today is George Brinzey with Cornelius Lake Patrol. We had just started talking about our lake training week and all the great things that are happening with that. I think I want to switch gears a little bit right now and just kind of talk about the Joshua Murray Boating Safety and Education Center that was launched last year at Blythe Landing. Mecklenburg County agreed to partner with the town of Cornelius and take an old, dirty, unused former concession stand and turn it into a functional, community-based center for that's revolves around community awareness to boating safety. And I think it's been very successful.
Absolutely.
I don't know of any other brick and mortar boating safety and education center that's on the water.
No, and the beautiful part about the Murray Center is how it came together organically, right? It's there's a lot of stuff out there, right? If you Google boating safety, there's a million things you can find in the public domain, but what there isn't is that water cooler for everybody in our community to come together to have that central point that we can collectively bring our resources, bring our knowledge, and bring our community all together in one spot, right, to share that information. And I think the more people we can reach day in and day out through the Murray Center, the more people come back to the dock at the end of the day safe.
And that's the key, is coming back to the dock safe. And, I think that we can all agree that the two major contributing factors to people not coming back to the dock is 100% associated to a lack of situational awareness. And can anybody else say it?
Flotation.
That's going to keep you alive 99.99% of the time. And EJ, you can attest to this. I mean, it's really tough, especially kids, but it's really tough, working these drowning cases, these search and rescue cases, knowing that if the person only had a life jacket.
Yeah, it's so unfortunate, and as the time goes by and the family comes out and it was just 100% preventable in most cases. It's just it's tough, and you just wish you could get the message out there, but by then it's really just too late. And like I said, it's unfortunate, but just today at Blythe, we're looking right by the safety center. There's a cache of life jackets.
Yeah.
So you get out there to the boat ramp and you're like, oh man, we forgot one, or there it is. But I think more importantly, just having it is the proper fit.
Absolutely.
You go out there with, I have a 3-year-old at home. She no longer fits in the life jacket she had last year, so we got to go West Marine before we hit the water this year, and we'll get her new one, make sure it fits properly, and it has to be worn. It does no good if it's underneath of the seats in the storage locker.
I don't go by over the age of 13 with my family on the water. Like both of my kids are avid swimmers, and every time we go on the water, they're in a jacket. And at first they really had a hard time accepting that. They're like, "Dad, we're fine." And this last season, that drowning we had at the sandbar, and talking to them about it, and just how simple it was that young man drowned. It really had a lasting impact, especially as they've gotten older. So, hammering that flotation day in and day out to make it, a mindset decision is what's going to really bring people back.
And again, nothing can make us look cool, but I think, you guys talked about
Wrong group of guys.
The technology that you have as first responders, but the technology within flotation has also increased, right? There's a million
100%.
options for you not to be the person that has to wear the big orange bulky vest, right? And you can look cool.
The horse
it
collar,
won't help
yeah.
us. It won't help us out at all. But there is
you're not on the cruise ship standing at your muster station.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So many options, and again, just if you don't grab it before you go, it's available right at the boat ramp stations. Thankful to some of our community partners, but also, I always tell people just grab it before you jump in. It could be the difference that you never know you needed.
On that note, EJ, you just made me think of something that maybe an opportunity for the center is as you grow out of a life jacket, we should start a donation
Oh yeah,
kind of program at the center.
absolutely.
We could definitely have the room there to house them and hand them out.
Absolutely,
So
yeah.
we need to.
I have one for you.
Yeah, yeah. I know I have several. I have
Starts with one.
Yep.
As my kids grew out of them, I just have a whole locker full of them at home, and they're not being used. So definitely, we should look into that.
Yeah, we'll do 100%.
Great idea.
That'd be a great program.
Yeah.
We're going to be launching out of the center in conjunction with our Cornelius Police Department volunteer program. We're gonna launch the Joshua Murray Boating Safety Ambassador Program, which is going to work through the police department but cater to the center and have available resources, trained resources that are connected to the lake, that know boating, that care about safety, to be there as a resource at the center. And the center's just kind of taken its own route. It's followed the path of least resistance, and one that it was really formed to address the commercial use issues that we've seen. I left the police department full time for a number of years, and when I came back to Lake Patrol, it was staggering the number of commercial use vessels, and it just keeps climbing every year.
Right.
Because we want people to have access to the water 100%. That's what this lake was really designed for, is to make power and for recreation. Mm-hmm. But it's just the blind leading the blind. And, my hope is that the center will gain some popularity. It'll become a fixed point on the map, and people know that they can come to that center and get some baseline education. And it not only cater to the new or novice boater, but also to the more experienced, because it's constant. You got to live and eat boating safety.
Yeah, I went to the center for the first time about a month ago with George, and I'm a perfect example of not knowing about it.
Yep.
But since being there, first off, Mike, George, EJ, of course, you guys have done an incredible job. Talk about walking in there, and it just kind of speaks to you about what, how important safety is, right?
Yeah.
And I think we have such an opportunity there to expand and really make people aware. So one being the ambassador program. George also shared with me all the things that he did last year in terms of training and different events and different, again, I'll call it awareness objectives. A lot of those are planned for this year. So along with the ambassador program and getting people to work at the center, to hand out materials, to speak to the boat renters, maybe before they go out there and talk about something like flotation would be wonderful.
And that's as simple as it has to be.
Yeah, and it is very simple. And the other thing that we're going to do is we're going to create an actual website for it and make it more official. So you can tune into that for the different events, tune in to learn more about Joshua himself and the mission. And we all just need to kind of stand in and share the mission together.
And speaking of Josh, Josh was one of our Lake Patrol officers that passed away at a very young age and left us too soon. And he had just such an incredible way of taking boating safety that is, typically something a little boring and dry, but so important, and connect with the community, especially the younger community. You got to check him out on TikTok, Officer McFlurry.
Yeah.
He's got some funny stuff on there, and he had thousands and thousands of followers, and people loved to watch what he was doing. But he might not have touched on boating safety, but you always saw him wearing a life jacket, which that speaks in volumes.
And the connecting point to the youth, right? That's the future of our lake, and I think, EJ, I'll go back to what you talked about, you have a 3-year-old at home. I got into boating safety because, I always tell people that it's the only time you can be on an 8.5 by 23 foot platform with a family of 4 and everyone gets along for the whole day. Right. And, I had a 5-year-old at the time, and it was 4th of July. We were watching the fireworks on our boat. And as we're walking back down the dock, it was a crowded dock, and my 5-year-old got shoved off into the water at night. Without a life jacket on, right? It was probably the most terrifying thing that happened to me. And this is,
that's all it takes.
13 years ago, right? And it's why I got into boater safety. And, connecting that event to now being passionate about my kids are never on the dock without a life jacket on, right? Making sure we're reinforcing the flotation message. And what Josh did was he connected to the youth, right? And if you grow up wearing that jacket, always having that with you, then that's the future of our lake, and it'll be a safer place.
100%. Absolutely. And that's, and again, the Joshua Murray Center was named after him because he was just so passionate about connecting to the community with boating safety. And, folks that are listening, this is your facility. We just are there to represent it. And, we want to be good representatives of the mission. And, it's to save lives through education. And it's a brick and mortar facility. We've made tons of partnerships. And, we're just looking forward to seeing it grow and ultimately steered by our local community here. So,
and something really cool, too, to be proud of is connecting that center with the community through things beyond just boating, right? The trunk or treat event that happened earlier this year to provide a safe place for kids to come to do trick or treating, get exposure to our first responders in the lake. So really amazing work going on both on and off the water at the Murray Center.
Absolutely. And when we come back, we're going to really talk about how awesome this event's going to be on Sunday.
We ran out of time, but we will definitely talk about
it's just
Fun Day Sunday.
Yeah.
Rocking the boat.
Looking forward to it.
And you're karaoke, right?
No, I'm not karaoke.
You're going to do the karaoke.
And
dancing karaoke, man.
Come on.
No.
More About Town with Cornelius Mayor Woody Washam. Coming up on 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Well, as we continue to work our way toward the weekend, the warmth will continue to build as well. The extra clouds still hanging around for a good chunk of your Thursday, but a bit more sunshine is back this afternoon. Temperatures warming up to finish things off around 80. We'll only fall back into the mid and upper 60s overnight. And are you ready for a little taste of early summer warmth? We're going to warm up close to 90 for your Friday. We could even be in the low 90s around the lake Saturday afternoon. That's your forecast. WSIC Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Hi, This is Bob McIntosh with the McIntosh Law Firm in Davidson. Since 1997, we have been committed to providing our clients with competent, caring, and experienced legal services. Learn more at McIntoshLawFirm.com.
Nelson Royals has top brands like Justin and Ariat, from work to western wear, boots, and saddlery. Nelson Royals has it all. Mention WSIC and get 15% off your purchase. Visit Nelson Royals on Highway 150 in Mooresville or shop online at nelsonroyals.com.
Craving a taste of Italy? At Palmadoro's, we serve up scratch-made comfort with every bite. From our hand-tossed pizzas to classic pasta dishes, it's the perfect place to gather your family or just treat yourself. Visit palmadoros.com for menus and hours. Your table's waiting.
Exciting news at Randy Marion Ford Lincoln in Statesville. We have opened a separate used car department. That's right, we have over 300 pre-owned vehicles on Folger Drive. That's right across the interstate from the main lot. I tell you, better to serve you with higher quality, higher quantity, king of price deals on pre-owned vehicle. Come see us today at our new location, 1011 Folger Drive, right across the interstate from the main showroom. You can't miss us. And as always, king of price, king of deals, you can't beat Randy Marion in Statesville.
But one objective.
Honey, can you turn that down? Ladies. Honey, can you turn it down?
Ever feel like your house is shaking every time your husband watches TV?
What?
Honey, can you turn it down?
That's not surround sound. That's hearing loss. Beltone in Mooresville and Cornelius can help. With expert hearing tests and top quality hearing aids, you can finally enjoy your TV without shaking the whole neighborhood. Visit nchearing.com to schedule your free hearing test today. That's nchearing.com.
Need a ride? iCats has you covered. Tuesdays to the VA in Salisbury, Thursday to Winston-Salem, and Fridays to Hickory. Plus, run errands every day around Iredell County for just $1. Visit rideicats.com.
Caregiving can be overwhelming, but fear not. Equity Health Primary Care is here to help. They specialize in personalized care for your loved ones. In clinic, at home, or virtually, they provide support, understanding, and resources to make the journey a little easier. Visit equityhealthcares.com.
The button pushing stops here.
WSIC. Local starts here.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. Following President Trump's worldwide tariff rollout late yesterday, market bets that U.S. consumers will cut spending amid pricier imported goods and U.S. producers won't be able to sell as many of their pricier goods overseas are stomping this market at levels rarely seen. Right now, the Dow losing more than 3.5%, S&P 500 falling more than 4%, NASDAQ down more than 5%. A big market loser today is Nike, whose shares have tumbled 13% so far. Half of Nike sneakers are made in Vietnam, and more than a quarter are made in Indonesia, which has also been slapped with extra tariffs. Just hours after taking effect, President Trump's 25% tariffs on imported cars are already reverberating around the globe. Jeep maker Stellantis plans to temporarily halt some production in Canada and Mexico. Ford has begun offering steep discounts to keep customers coming into showrooms, and Volkswagen has warned dealers that it will hike prices on the vehicles it ships to the U.S. Andrew O'Day, Bloomberg Radio.
24/7 worldwide, non-stop.
WSIC.
Local starts here. It's About Town with Cornelius Mayor Woody Washam on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC. Local starts here.
Welcome back to About Town with Mayor Woody Washam. Filling in is George Brinzey and motley crew of community-based boating safety ambassadors for Lake Norman. We've had a quite the discussion about all kinds of different things, and I think we'd like to focus more on actually talking about the Rock the Boat event at Boatyard Eats.
Yeah, thanks, George. So George came to me about a month ago and said, hey, we got to, again, got the Joshua Murray Center. We have opportunity this year to really kind of kick off, again, all the great work that was done a year ago, but really promote the awareness and make people more aware. And he had the idea of, hey, let's have a party. Let's have a some kind of event where we can maybe raise a few dollars. And then, again, just kind of share with the community about what we're all about. And through our network of friends, we ended up at Boatyard, Chris Pakitis and
awesome.
company, who have offered to host us this Sunday. So Sunday at Boatyard from 2 to 6, we are doing absolutely that, and that is having a party. I call it a party. We're featuring the Stormin' Norman Experience band, local band, bunch of buddies of mine that I know pretty well, and they've played at many different events, including Boatyard before, and they're coming back. And what we're looking for is people showing up at the door, perhaps giving a donation. We're going to be sharing T-shirts with everybody as they walk in. We have a couple.
I did see the T-shirt. It looks great.
We have a couple great sponsors. Cash.
Was that your design?
No, I can't take credit for that. I don't have that ability.
I love the T-shirt.
We have a couple great sponsors: Cash-ins, Champion Tire, and All Star Plumbing.
Yeah.
Charlotte Plumbing. Yeah.
Service Plumbing.
Service Plumbing. There you go.
Drew
Sorry
Stewart
about that. Yep,
over
Drew
there.
Stewart. Thank you, Drew. And we're going to be kicking it off again with the band at about 2:00. We're going to have Joshua Murray's father coming to kick it off, Andrew.
Andrew's a really awesome guy. Andrew Murray was active Coast Guard for 20 some years. Like he
know that.
Wow.
Oh yeah, he lived and breathed boating safety, and he's actually now he was the Mecklenburg County DA for years. Did a great job there. Went off to be a U.S. attorney, and now he's a 2-county DA up in the mountains.
So looking forward to him kicking it off. Then we'll enjoy the band, maybe a refreshment, and then about halftime, we're going to have Woody come and speak about the center and some of the great things that he mentioned at the beginning of the show. Probably, go a little bit deeper, of course. And there's a rumor that we might have a raffle for a boat ride with George in the the Cornelius police boat.
It ought to be. It's worth it.
So
it's a great experience.
If you've ever ridden with him, do not sign up for that raffle.
Hopefully we can pull that off. And then again, we'll be back to the band, and then our third round of speakers will be yours truly, Mike and George, to talk again more about the center and what's happening there. Another great thing that I think we have not mentioned yet, and I got to give Mike credit and his son Carter. What I've learned is we have at Bailey School a water safety council, and we'll be recognizing those folks for the great work that they've done.
They are the future of boater safety, and
absolutely.
For a group of kids to come together and
really
want to learn about it. I mean, it's awesome. They're going to have their boater safety certificate before they graduate middle school.
Yeah, and hats off, Brinzey, to you and Lake Patrol for really jumping in, right? And
Yeah.
seeing a group organically come together and say, listen, we're all in. We're going to support it. And, the one thing I love is the way that everything starts off with Brinzey is like Brinzey called me and pulled me in, right? And I think that's
you too.
I got caught in the same trap. But the beautiful part about that is, right, it's living and breathing the motto of community policing of Cornelius Police Department. So hats off to you for getting the community engaged, supporting the community. And I truly think that, the town of Cornelius is leading both on land and on the water.
100%. Both our police and our fire departments are so engaged with the community, and that's the name of the game. We got to take care of our customers, and not all the time is it putting out a fire or taking somebody to jail, but making that connection.
And that's exactly the message we want on Sunday. So Sunday, the theme is amplifying water safety one song at a time with Stormin' Norman Experience. And we hope everybody can make it. Maybe even WSIC will be able to advertise our link out there for the information on Boatyard and what we're trying to do at 2:00 on Sunday.
And driving funding to the JM Center is just opportunity. We don't want anybody to pay for training out of there. Donations would be accepted through Float It Forward, which is an awesome organization put on by Cade Redmond, a high school student at Huff that watched a tragic drowning out in front of his dock. And, he and his mother, Elise, have done such a tremendous job leading the community down this path. And just, to me, Float It Forward is just more than than what its original mission was to deploy free life rings on docks. But it's just she and Kate are a good steward of lake safety, and I mean we need more. We need more of that.
It's incredible, and Dennis, thank you for all your work in this event. And I think a great measure of success too would be to get people, for whoever's listening, wherever you're at, whatever county you're from or community you're from, come to this event, right? We want people to be educated across all of the counties, and you don't just have to live here close to the lake to enjoy it, right? And be a part of this amazing event that you have on Sunday.
Looking forward to it.
Talk about, this is kind of the extension of the Love Where You Lake event that we had in 2022 over at the old Waltrip movie theater. You want to just chat about that for a minute and just really puts it into perspective.
It seems like 10 years ago that we did this, but George and I, again, everything starts off at the Fresh Egg, I think, right? It seems like all
Shout
good
out to the
ideas
Fresh
start
Egg,
with
man.
a good breakfast.
I might miss a Target, but I don't miss a meal.
Yeah. And Brinzey said, hey, let's talk about how we can help with boater safety and do something kind of organically, very much like this event, which I'm excited about on Sunday. And, we just said that there's so much out there, right? There's so much stuff out there. But what's missing is everyone coming together to just say, we don't need to build more. We just need to reach the community. Just like this event Sunday, just like the training that you guys are doing, where you're bringing all of the different agencies together to have a collective effort. And, there's the old saying, right? If you want to go fast, you go alone. If you want to go far, you go together. And I think bringing everyone together at that event in 22 was important, because for the first time, we got every single stakeholder to sit in a room together and say, how do we agree that there's an opportunity, right, for bigger community impact and reach and support? How do we collectively come together to do that? And I know that, from fire department to police department to local business owners, boat dealerships, everyone that had a hand in this came together. And that was really the kicking off point of this movement. And now to see the Murray Center 3 years later happen, it's a true testament to the town of Cornelius, the leadership that you and the fire department have here in the town, but really just our ability to reach as many as we can with a simplified message to, again, get them back to the dock safe at the end of the day.
And from that, it happened quickly. Mecklenburg County realized that there was a huge commercial use problem, and most of the drownings that we have worked, EJ, and you can attest to this as well, is that it's mostly commercial use. It's people that
you're absolutely right, and there is a problem, and the way that people come into contact with rental boats, apps, and marketplace, and everything else, is just like, how do you stay ahead of it? You're always chasing, and you never really feel like you've caught up. Just when you think you got a handle on it, it's like, oh, there's a new way to get out there with really no information. So it is difficult, but having that centralized area in a very busy boat ramp, hopefully that will help.
Yeah, and we've adopted the commercial use policy at with Ramsey Creek Park and Blythe Landing. We've managed to identify most of the commercial use. We've actually promoted the rental companies that want to do the right thing and go through the proper process. I mean, we've reduced the number of illegal charters at Ramsey and Blythe by at least 60%, and most of the folks that run out of there are above board and they do the right thing, and they come back to the dock. So.
Good stuff.
Absolutely.
WSIC.
Well, as we continue to work our way toward the weekend, the warmth will continue to build as well. The extra clouds still hanging around for a good chunk of your Thursday, but a bit more sunshine is back this afternoon. Temperatures warming up to finish things off around 80. We'll only fall back into the mid and upper 60s overnight. And are you ready for a little taste of early summer warmth? We're going to warm up close to 90 for your Friday. We could even be in the low 90s around the lake Saturday afternoon. That's your forecast. WSIC Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Here's your WSIC community calendar. Friday night is the season opener for the live Under the Oaks outdoor concert series at Birkdale Village in Huntersville. Grab your friends, family, and your lawn chairs as weekly music returns to the plaza each Friday through October. Red Rocks will be on site for beverages, and the Birkdale restaurants will be open for your Friday night dinner. The Walter Family Band performance, powered by Waves Entertainment, kicks off at 6 p.m. Friday at Birkdale Village in Huntersville with the season premiere of Live Under the Oaks. The 500 Club in Statesville presents a weekend full of fun. On Friday, Members Happy Hour begins at 5 p.m. Also enjoy the day with Glow Golf Loop. Saturday night at midnight, enjoy a good old-fashioned drive-in movie. Call 704-872-9990 or visit the 500 Club online for more details and enjoy your weekend at the 500 Club in Statesville. The Auto Fair presented by Camping World is back at Charlotte Motor Speedway Thursday through Saturday. The show brings together the car community in a celebration of their shared passion for all things automotive. Don't miss the Heritage Invitational, where iconic cars from all eras are gathered for up-close viewing. Visit charlottemotorspeedway.com for Auto Fair tickets and more information. On Saturday, come celebrate the 5th year anniversary at Lost Worlds Brewing in Cornelius. A DJ and coffee will kick off the day at 9 a.m., while live music begins at 1 p.m. Enjoy drink specials, multiple food trucks, and free admission. We'll see you Saturday at Lost Worlds Brewing in Cornelius for their 5th year anniversary party. To keep up with all the events happening around the community and much more, including amazing local deals, download the WSIC News app today.
Merlefest 2025, presented by Window World, returns April 24th through the 27th in Wilkesboro, North Carolina. Hear the Avett Brothers, Bonnie Raitt, The Dead South, Watch House, Wyatt Flores, I'm With Her, Leftover Salmon, The War and Treaty, The Steel Drivers, and many more. For tickets, visit merlefest.org.
We're back with more of About Town with Cornelius Mayor Woody Washam on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC. Local starts here.
And the Motley Crew's back. It's About Town. And right now we've got some breaking news. We want to actively engage the listeners in problem solving. We have a towfish that has intertwined itself with the lake bed.
You gotta explain a towfish.
Yeah,
Everyone's gonna think
there's
some new species of fish in the lake. So
it's a towfish. I mean,
let me take it for you.
Okay,
I got you.
Please.
No, it's
DJ.
just the guys are out there working through a problem right now. They've got a piece of equipment that we use, and just due to
sonar equipment, right?
Sonar equipment. Yep. Just due to the lake and its many hazards.
Yeah.
It's created a problem that we're going to work through, and that is kind of what this training is all about. Not ideal, but of course we're gonna work the problem. We'll figure it out.
How do you go about unsticking a towfish that's tangled up in a bunch of brush down at the bottom of the lake in 80 feet of water? You said
I'm not there, but I think it's fairly deep. But we've got our underwater robot. It's going to take a look, and we got the top guys on it. There's nobody better than the business than these guys that are out there today. So I have 100% confidence in them. They're going to be fine. We'll get it figured out, just like we always do. But it's just it's the nature of Lake Norman, and it just kind of goes to show what you don't know what's under the water.
And it's awesome that we have the underwater technology. Couldn't imagine sending a diver down.
It's difficult. You know, we lost a public safety diver.
Almost two.
And it's dangerous. It's dark water. So the technology has come a long ways. And again, it's stuff you got to stay professional. You have to get out there. You have to do these drills. You have to conduct these trainings. And you can't simulate it. You have to go out there and do it.
In the collective, you were talking about the different, departments coming together to triage this too is impressive, right? It's truly a one team of
absolutely.
Approach.
It doesn't matter what the side of the boat says when it shows up. The mission's still the same.
Yeah, it's a great point.
And EJ, we're talking about 100 feet of water here.
Yeah,
which is still mind-boggling that how deep Lake Norman can be.
It's deceiving, and I think it's a false sense of security sometimes for folks. If you're used to hanging out in your backyard in your swimming pool, and if things go bad, I just grab a hold of the wall. I catch a leg cramp when I jumped in. Maybe I got I jumped in too early. The 30 minutes, I didn't wait till after 8. What is that the rule?
Yeah, 30 minutes, yeah.
But
that was an hour.
There's no sides of the pool to grab a hold of if you
right.
do run into a problem. So it happens so fast.
Yeah,
it happens so fast.
It's funny too to talk about the 100 feet of water. Yet boaters always find that 3 inches
Yeah.
to run aground. So
That's why Towboat and Seato have a
Yeah.
perpetual business
Yeah, I
model.
was going to say thriving business model. Yeah.
What else you got going on for the day, EJ? When we get back, what do we get to look forward to?
Yeah, so we're going to continue to use the new technologies. We're going to continue using our sonar. We're going to use some location technology we use called What 3 Words. That's something we're always striving to get to you faster. If you have a problem, we want to be to you as fast as we can. So how can we narrow down our search area to get to you? There's 100 boats in an area on any given weekend that look, they have a white gel coat with a blue stripe and
next to an
whatever.
island with trees on it.
So if we have somebody that's on the phone calling 911 and they're using their technology through an app called What 3 Words, they send us 3 words that gives us a very, very small area that this person is going to be in. Then
1 by 1 meter square.
We can get to them quick. So we're going to continue using that. We're going to continue using our traditional GPS means. So we've got playing cards out there. We're sending boats to different spots so they can convert GPS coordinates and they can do it quickly on their machines on the boats.
Can I tell you a funny story?
You most certainly can.
Yesterday,
Probably not be funny. but
Officer David Ferguson called me up last night, and I met up with him before we were leaving the training, and he hands me this playing card. He's like, "Look what I found on our dock. What is this?"
He took it off.
He took it off. I said, "No, that's for Thursday."
It literally says on the back of it for who it belongs to.
Yeah, he said, "Do I need to go give this to the fire department?" He was just trying to look after you all.
That's funny. Can you talk about that app a little bit more?
Sure.
And, I mean, I recall reading about it, but I don't have that app.
See if we can
You need it if you live on the lake, or you need to know where you are.
That's why I'm asking.
So when you call 911,
right? Let's go through that process. I'm very curious about. Okay, I see something on the lake. I call 911. How do you get there?
So we have a rapid SOS. We've got our communication center. When you call 911, it triangulates using the closest cell tower, and it gives What 3 Words in our dispatch computer system. So it literally will follow you for 15 minutes after you call 911. So it really gives us a laser focused and consistent response to whatever the 911 call was.
So where we're sitting right now, we're Turned Pose Resort, and the globe is covered in these squares. So we'll put that in, and then we have a traditional GPS right underneath it, and with any hope, we'll be right to you.
And the history of it's fascinating too,
Yes,
right?
it
It really
is.
developed around the favelas over in other countries around giving some ways of identifying without addresses, right?
Right.
And so,
And GPS coordinates are almost you can't do it when you're on a boat.
I'm just
with
willing to
chart
bet a
paper.
lot of people don't have it. That's another opportunity for our website.
Yeah,
Joshua
What
Murray
3 Words.
Make sure that we have that out there.
Yeah,
and
if you're unfamiliar with the lake, we always find that people will, even if it's not the closest point, they're just going to go back to where they know. So if they went out of Blythe Landing or they went out of Ramsey Creek, even though there's probably better ways to get them to land, to get them help, they're going to go right back to where they know. So here's a way that I can say, these are my 3 words. This is where I'm at. We've also in Mecklenburg County now, with that location, we're going to get the closest land address to you as well. So we can get a fire truck over there to maybe at least get eyes on it and
That's
say,
awesome.
hey, yep, I see them. They're here, and then they can direct the boats in. So everything that we can do to get to you faster is what we want to do. We want to be out the door and the fastest amount of time possible. We want to be on the scene as fast as possible. So
It's pretty much become the golden standard for emergency responders.
for sure, it should be. It absolutely should be. So that's our whole goal is we want to be there quick and get you help.
And everybody could use it, could have the potential to need it. So download it. Super simple.
Yeah.
What 3 words?
And I like looking around and see what the 3 words are.
On our change based upon the geography, like the words get a little bit more risky when you get up into Boston and things like that. Or
like 4-letter words.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. We're not allowed to say any of them on here.
No.
But on our T-shirt every year, I pick out what 3 words for where we were working, and I find the coolest ones.
That's awesome.
I gave Officer Mutarelli a jumbo refrigerator snake over there off the sandbar and 3D printed a jumbo refrigerator snake and gave it to him. And he was the only person that knew what it was. When he put 2 and 2 together, it was hilarious. So if anybody ever wonders what a jumbo refrigerator snake is,
there's the sandbar.
Yep.
Along with the towfish.
Along with the towfish.
Lots of learnings.
Well, guys, listen, as the season approaches, the lake is going to get much, much busier. Boats have been stored for the season, and now's the time when you actively go out and inspect your boat, de-winterize it, check all your equipment, your fire extinguisher, take your fire extinguisher out of the cradle, shake it, the particulate inside the fire extinguisher has the tendency to compact itself. Shake it, make sure it's still in good working order. All your required safety equipment, your nav lights, make sure that stuff's in good shape. Check your freeze plugs. You never want to crank an engine without a freeze plug because you won't go far. And that happens about every year. We wind up having to deal with a boat that broke down because of that. And just give it a once-over. Know before you go. That's the most important thing. From a fire safety perspective, is there anything you can add to that?
Yeah, we're looking battery connections, battery chargers, your bilge.
Loose wires, right?
Yeah. We run check your bilge. Is the fuel tank ruptured? Do we have gas in the bilge? We don't want that. That's a recipe for disaster. So just making sure that those things are in good working order. And if you're not comfortable with it, there's a lot of mechanics around the area that love new business, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, absolutely. Just make sure that thing is in good working shape before you take off for the year.
Absolutely.
Life jackets for everyone.
I was going to say life jackets is a big one for me. I know I take them inside.
That's good.
Inside the house.
That's good
for the winter, and you got to make sure that you get them back out there on the boat. So you have them.
You can never be too careful.
No.
I mean it's a like we say, it's a mindset and lifestyle. Well,
are you guys going to do boat checks this year?
Oh yeah, we're going to do
got
boat
those
checks.
Planned?
Yeah. Over at the center, we've got the Coast Guard Auxiliary, who's a huge partner at the center. They're going to be doing free vessel safety inspections pretty much all throughout the season. So if you need one done, come see us. Yep. Come see us. And we're about to run out of time, Dennis. I'm excited about Sunday. I'm excited to see the community come out together for the single purpose of getting back to the dock safe and boating safety.
Yeah, and if you want to see Officer Brinzey dance,
I'm not
great place to do it.
Yeah, might put him on stage with the band.
No,
with tambourine.
I can do cowbell.
Cowbell, we have cowbell.
We need more cowbell.
Rumor has it you're not even
definitely
allowed
have
to sing
cowbell.
happy birthday, so I think we're in trouble.
You do a safety check on that boat in the playground area. I don't know if it's going to pass or not.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Hey, we could do that. We could set up a little station where kids can come up and do vessel safety inspections and get a free T-shirt.
There you go.
Yep. Come out and see us at Boatyard Sunday.
Guys, this has been fun.
Sunday
this
at
has
2
been
o'clock. Thank you. Thank you,
This
George.
has been a lot of fun. I can't believe Mayor trusted us to
Big
do this.
question. Do you think he'll invite us back?
I don't know. We'll have to see. I'm sure I'll have a text message here in a minute.
We can ask him on Sunday.
We changed up his intro music a little bit, so
Mayor, we appreciate it. You all have a
Thanks, Woody.
If you don't hear from us, have a safe summer.
Thank you
enjoy
all.
Enjoy this lake. Be safe.
Take care.